Unseen Chains. John stood alone on the deserted pier, the cold night air biting through his jacket. The moon cast a silvery glow over the water, reflecting his restless thoughts. Just 3 months ago, Lexi had been his everything, his confidant, his partner in adventure, his love. But tonight, as he watched her silhouette disappear into the distance, a storm of emotions brewed within him. It had been a tumultuous relationship, filled with passion and occasional turmoil. Lexi, a vibrant artist with dreams that reached far beyond their small town, had recently felt the need to pursue her own path. Their once harmonious lives had become strained, the cracks widening until one evening, under the dim lights of their favorite cafe, Lexi had made her decision. Lexi, John, I need to move on. I can't keep living like this, feeling like I'm not growing. John, please Lexi, we can work through this. Don't leave me. Lexi, I have to do this for myself. As she left, the weight of her departure settled heavily on John, igniting a darkness he hadn't known resided within him. In the weeks that followed, John couldn't escape the void Lexi had left. His days were a haze of sleepless nights and relentless self-torment. Friends noticed his withdrawal, but he pushed them away, consumed by thoughts of losing Lexi. Determined to keep her by his side, John began to manipulate the threads of her life. He hacked into her social media accounts, posting heartfelt messages and old photos to remind her of their shared history. When Lexi tried to distance herself, John would appear unannounced at her workplace, making excuses to spend time with her. His actions, initially subtle, soon became invasive and sinister. Lexi began to notice strange occurrences, her car keys disappearing only to reappear in odd places, her phone acting up with unexplained glitches, and anonymous messages hinting that someone was watching her every move. The sense of safety she once felt was now overshadowed by an ever-present fear. Determined to understand what was happening, Lexi hired a private investigator, uncovering a trail of digital footprints leading back to John. The realization that her former boyfriend had turned into a relentless stalker sent chills down her spine. She sought help from law enforcement, filing restraining orders and increasing her security measures. But John was always one step ahead. He infiltrated her new life, sabotaging her art projects, spreading false rumors among her peers, and manipulating mutual friends to isolate her further. Lexi felt the walls closing in, her dreams slipping through her fingers as John's obsession deepened. Desperate to escape, Lexi decided to leave town, believing a fresh start was her only chance at freedom. She packed her essentials, leaving behind a carefully crafted note. "I hope you find peace. I need to move forward without you." But John was not ready to let her go. He tracked her every move, ensuring she couldn't escape his reach. As Lexi boarded the last bus out of town, John appeared at the terminal, his presence menacing and unwavering. "John, Lexi, you can't run from me. Lexi, stay away from me, John, let me go." Before she could react, John grabbed her arm with a strength fueled by desperation. "John, you belong to me." In the ensuing struggle, Lexi managed to break free, sprinting into the bustling crowd. Her heart raced as she navigated through the throng of people, her breaths coming in sharp gasps. She knew she couldn't keep running forever. Determined to end the nightmare, Lexi decided to confront John directly, hoping to reach the man he once was. She arranged to meet him at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city, a place where their past had held no meaning. Under the cloak of darkness, Lexi waited, her nerves on edge. Moments later, John emerged from the shadows, his eyes devoid of the warmth they once held. "John, Lexi, we can fix this. We belong together." "Lexi, John, this isn't love, it's obsession. You need help." John's expression twisted with a mix of anger and sorrow. "John, I can't lose you. Not like this." Before Lexi could react, John lunged forward, but she managed to evade him, backing away. The confrontation escalated, their emotions clashing in the silent night. In a final desperate move, Lexi activated her hidden recording device, capturing every word and movement. Realizing the futility of his efforts, John sank to his knees. The man he once was buried beneath layers of bitterness and pain. "John, please Lexi, don't leave me. Lexi, I have to move on, John, for both our sakes." With the evidence secured, Lexi contacted the authorities, presenting the recordings and detailing John's actions. A police presence quickly surrounded the area, and John, realizing he had no way out, complied with their commands. "Police officer, you're under arrest for stalking, harassment, and cybercrimes," an officer announced, handcuffing him as Lexi watched, a mix of relief and sorrow in her heart. Months passed and Lexi began to rebuild her life. Therapy and the unwavering support of true friends helped her overcome the trauma inflicted by John's obsession. She moved to a new city, embracing the fresh start she so desperately needed. One sunny afternoon, Lexi walked through a vibrant art fair, the colors and lively atmosphere a stark contrast to the darkness she had endured. As she smiled at a child's laughter and the rustling of leaves in the breeze, she felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in a long time. Her phone buzzed with a message from a new friend. "Coffee tomorrow? I'd love to hear more about your new adventures." She smiled, typing back affirmatively. She had survived the nightmare and was finally free to embrace the future. Meanwhile, in the quiet confines of his prison cell, John stared blankly at the wall, the weight of his actions pressing down on him. The man he had become was a shadow of his former self, a testament to how obsession can corrupt and destroy. As Lexi thrived in her new life, her past a distant memory, she knew the journey of healing was ongoing. But with each step forward, she embraced her resilience and the hope that had carried her through the darkest of times.